Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. We're looking at a fascinating platform that totally flips the script on creative writing. Normally, we picture an author locked away in a room, just kind of wrestling with their own thoughts in total isolation. But what we're exploring today completely shatters that mold. It's called Relay Writers, and it literally reimagines the entire architecture of storytelling, turning it into a shared, immersive journey.
The whole magic of this concept really boils down to one simple, brilliant idea. 8 strangers, one story. I mean, just think about that for a second. You are collaborating with people you'll never actually meet, people whose real names you might not even know, to build something incredible together. It totally removes the ego from the writing process. It isn't your story anymore. It's about what you can collectively build when you hand your imagination over to someone else.
Welcome to the hallway, entering the world of Relay Writers.
So the platform uses this incredibly atmospheric metaphor of a dimly lit hallway lined with doors, and every single door hides a new literary universe. But of course, the big question is, how does the relay actually work? Well, let's break down the mechanics. Because honestly, the constraints, the rules of the game are exactly what make it so exciting. It isn't just some chaotic free-for-all. It's a highly structured passing of the baton.
And the absolutely crucial point here is the rule of 8. This entire system revolves around this specific, magical number to keep the momentum going. 8 is basically the DNA of the Relay Writers platform. It dictates the length, the participants, and the ultimate shape of the final product. That number is applied through some pretty strict constraints. First off, there are exactly 8 writers per story. No more, no less. Second, when it's your turn, you have a maximum of 800 words to write your chapter. And third, you have exactly 48 hours to do it. Talk about a thrilling sense of urgency. You really can't overthink it, and you definitely can't spend a month battling writer's block. You've got 2 days to read with the person before you wrote, add your 800 words of brilliance, and get out.
Let's look at the actual steps, what they call the method. It's wonderfully simple. First, you pick a room in that metaphorical hallway. Next, you receive the opening, which is the story so far written by the strangers ahead of you. Then, you write your piece, up to 800 words, and finally, you pass it on. You just hand the baton to the next unseen writer in the chain. Simple, right? But structurally, it's just profound.
8 doors, 8 genres. Choosing your canvas.
Now, the platform definitely doesn't box you into just one style. There are 8 distinct genre doors you can choose from, matching whatever creative mood you're in. Take the first 2, for example. You could crack open door number 1 for mystery and intrigue. Think puzzles that won't stay still and things that should be there aren't. Or actually, maybe you want something more fantastical. Then you'd go for door number 2, magic and fantasy. That one is all about enchanted lands, odd rules, and unreliable wizards. Just reading those prompts kind of gets the ideas flowing, doesn't it?
Moving down the hall, we get this great contrast between the thrill of unseen places and, well, creeping dread. Door 3 is adventure and exploration, journeys, discoveries, and places most people never see. Compare that to Door 4, horror and the uncanny. That one focuses on the unsettling, stories about the things outside your door. So, depending on the day, you might be charting an unknown island, or you might be writing about the monster scratching at the glass. Then we've got doors 5 and 6. Maybe you'd prefer documenting the quiet or ferocious beauty of wild places and the creatures who call them home in the nature room. Or you could pivot entirely and dive into the science room. Labs, time anomalies, experiments that don't go as planned. It's that classic divide, right? The organic world versus the technological one.
Finally, doors 7 and 8 deal with the deeply human elements. You can explore the raw honesty of family and relationships. We're talking long tables, old houses, the conversations families actually have. Or if you want high stakes, you can write about characters pushed to their absolute limits in courage and bravery, focusing on moments that demand more than a character thought they had.
Now, what makes this whole platform so wild is that it isn't just some theoretical concept. Tonight, in the hallway, as we literally speak, there are 31 different stories actively being written across these rooms. Every single genre has open slots with doors just waiting for their next writer. The platform is alive, just buzzing with simultaneous creativity all over the globe.
The finished book. The ultimate reward of the relay.
Okay, so what actually happens when those final 48 hours are up and the last word is typed? Here is the ultimate payoff. When Chapter 8 lands, the finished book comes home to everyone who wrote it.
You aren't just tossing writing exercises into the void here. You actually receive a completed, tangible novel that you helped create, standing shoulder to shoulder with 7 complete strangers. You get to read the ending that you helped set in motion.
And if you're wondering what these collaborative efforts actually yield, well, the proof is right here. Look at these recent titles. A science story called Time Reboot. A nature story titled What the Pond Keeps. A horror piece named Where the Gap Refuses to Close. It's kind of mind-blowing to think that each of these was seamlessly stitched together by 8 totally different minds continuing one single narrative thread.
In fact, the platform has already seen incredible success. To put it in perspective, there are currently 46 completely finished books that have run the full relay and been sent out to their collaborative authors. That's 46 entirely unique universes created just by strangers passing a digital baton.
Now you might be thinking, how do I get in on this? Well, enlisting is incredibly low barrier. It takes literally 30 seconds to sign up. You do need to be over 18, but, and this is super rare these days, it does not ask for a credit card. No paywalls. It's purely about gathering creative minds, not creating financial roadblocks.
And the real beauty of the platform is how cyclical it is. After you finish a turn, pass the story on, or sit back to read a completely finished book that finally hits your inbox. The hallway returns to you. You find yourself right back where you started, surrounded by all that atmospheric possibility.
With 8 rooms waiting in the dark, constantly generating new prompts and new worlds, you're never truly finished. So, the only question left for your own creative journey tonight is this. If you were standing in that hallway right now, which door would you open first?